Hello, everyone. Quick mic check. Can you hear me? If I put myself picture in picture here, can you see me? Just give me a shout in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Cool. Awesome. So welcome, everyone. We got quite a lot of signups to this, some excitement around MCP, this topic. Yeah, so this was going to be the first in a series of talks about MCP. Today's is going to be a bit of a lighter, more introductory session. Yeah, if you're already familiar with MCP, probably a lot of what I'm going to tell you is not going to be new to you. So it is what it is. But I think a lot of folks are new to the concept of MCP. Maybe they don't understand it or just starting out. And I think this first talk will be for them in particular. And next week and one talk a bit later, we'll go into a bit more detail about building more and more interesting things with MCPs. But quick hello from me. Hi, I'm Nick. I'm based in Prague. I've got quite a rich history with Hospitable, going back all the way to 2018 as kind of the first developer joining, really, back then Smart BNB. And I've built a lot of things along the way. I built the MCP integration for better or worse. If you're having a great time with it, you're welcome. If you're having any issues with it, I'm sorry, I'm to blame. So it is what it is. But yeah, feel free always to reach out to me. So that's nick@hospitable.com if you want to let me know anything, any feedback about AI, MCP. Also reach out to me in community. I'm there as well. So without out of the way, yes, as I mentioned, this is the first talk. There's going to be a couple more. Today's more introductory. And one thing that I want to call out is, you might not be aware, we have a kind of build-a-thon or a hackathon on right now. And I think it will be running for a few more days. I think it's ending this week. The idea there is that we really want to see what you've been building with MCPs, or if you're going to, in the next few days, build with MCPs to inspire the community. And we have some prizes up for grabs. So top 3 spots from the submissions that we receive will get quite a bit in Hospitable credits. The top prize gets $500 in Hospitable subscription credits. So yeah, if you've created something pretty cool, we want to know about it. There will be a link to the Build-a-thon website, I think, later in this presentation. So let's get started. So for today, we're going to be talking about a few things. We'll of course talk about MCP itself, but I think I want to first start with an introduction that I think a lot of you might be interested in, which is like, what even are AI agents and how do they work? I won't go into technical details, but I'll give you kind of a high-level overview for you to have like a good foundational knowledge about what those are, right? Yeah, we'll talk about Hospitable MCP specifically. I'll bring up a few examples I found recently of Hospitable hosts creating pretty cool things with the Hospitable MCP system as examples, and then we'll head into Q&A. I want to leave ample time for your question to be able to chat with you here. As I get started, I'm going to run a poll very quickly. Let's see. The question is, are you already using Hospitable MCP? Yes and no. Here we go. So poll has started. You should see that somewhere in your interface, depending on how you're using this. Yeah, I see answers coming in already. I'm going to let that run for a few seconds while I carry on. So AI agents. One, what are they? So you've almost certainly by this point used ChatGPT, because their reported figures are something like 1 billion weekly active users. So chances are high that you have interacted with ChatGPT by now. So ChatGPT is an example of an AI agent, which means it's an AI, artificial intelligence system that is able to do pretty meaningful knowledge work, do stuff for you, give you answers and stuff like that, right? Now, how do they work, actually? There's tremendous complexity under the hood for those systems, and they are quite magical, really. But if you zoom out, they're actually pretty simple to understand kind of at a surface level, because there's really only 4 things that happen there. First, you ask it something, right? There's something you want to know, something you want it to do. Then it needs to consider what you've asked. So it needs to do a bit of thinking. It does something, and we'll get to that. And then it responds. That's it. That is all there is to an AI agent system. Ask, think, act, respond. Those 4 things, that's it, high level. And the think and act might happen multiple times. So you might ask it something, it thinks, it does something, then it does a bit of more thinking and a bit more doing, and then it responds. So like there's a bit of a loop in the middle, but same concept. As an example, you might have a smart speaker at home, and something that you might ask it is like, Alexa, what's the weather like? And by the way, I apologize if a few of you right now had your smart speaker activated as I said that. But this is an example of what a system like this can look like. Now, Alexa is built on a slightly different technology stack, but I think it illustrates the point. So you ask it, what's the weather like? It needs to do a bit of thinking, considering what it is that you've just asked, and kind of unpack it to know what to do. And so it needs to know, okay, so today is April 21st. What's the weather like means I need to get the forecast. Okay, now we can act. So it goes to some weather app, some system, finds the forecast for this day. It has acted, and now it can respond. Well, currently it's, depending on where you are, cloudy, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, for example. High will be 65, low will be 45, right? The usual kind of answer that it gives. And that's kind of a compressed version of an AI agent system, right? You've asked it something, it thought and enacted, and it responded to you. So same general principle applies whether you're using Claude, ChatGPT, base 44, Perplexity, and so on, all those other systems out there. That is an AI agent in a nutshell. And now, for our topic today, let's zoom in on this bit, act, because this is where MCPs come into play. And here we can start talking about what those actually are. I ran the poll, and hang on, there we go, this way. So today, during the session, a third of you have already been using Hospitable MCP, and 2/3 of you have not, which is amazing. It's a great introduction for you during the session, exactly as kind of intended. Hang on, I need to do this now. Cool. MCPs. First of all, the acronym MCP stands for the technical term Model Context Protocol. We don't need to go into any of that. The general gist of it is MCP means a way for an AI agent like ChatGPT to talk to another software system like Hospitable, for example, or some weather app. It's just a formalized, a standardized way of an AI agent to communicate, to get data out of, and to manage data within another system. That's it. The other terms for MCP are tools and connectors. You might see either of those 3 terms, basically MCP tools or connectors, used interchangeably within an AI agent system. And you've already likely interacted with them without even really knowing that you're doing so, right? If you've connected Gmail or Google Drive or one of countless other apps to your ChatGPT or to Claude or whatever, it may have, and you've asked it something like, if there's any emails that need my attention, or you're searching for good sushi nearby. It's doing a bunch of things with MCP under the hood for you, and kind of transparently without you even realizing it. It might search your actual Gmail inbox. It might look through your documents. It might write a document for you. You can ask it to add a to-do item and stuff like that. And so when you ask it to find like some particular cuisine's restaurant nearby, it's actually using a search tool or MCP under the hood. It's doing like, for example, a Google search, getting results, thinking about them, acting on them, thinking about them, and then responding. So that same loop: ask, think, act, respond. And the cool thing is that within that think and act loop, MCPs can be called multiple times within the same tool. So for example, get the first page of my inbox, but then it needs to go back to the same tool, get the second page of my inbox. So that's two different MCP kind of calls or invocations. But what it can also do, and this is where it really becomes super powerful and interesting, is that an AI agent is able to juggle multiple systems together and combine their results. So, you can, a silly example based on what I've just said, if you're talking about cool restaurants nearby and you have access to your Google Drive and Google Sheets, you can ask it to actually build up your own database of places to visit that you haven't yet visited. And it will actually, based on the MCP search results, it will also use the Google Sheets MCP to bring those results into a database that you can start interacting with. Silly example, but that shows that it can use different systems together in this way. And now we can talk about Hospitable's MCP. Now that you kind of have an idea of what an AI agent is and what MCP is and how it fits into that ask, think, act, and respond cycle. So Hospitable's MCP allows AI agents to have access to your Hospitable account data, meaning it can search through that data, as well as in some cases, it can manage that data, update it on your behalf. And so like a subset of the things it has access to is your property information, your calendar and updating calendar, bookings, messages, most recently access to your knowledge hub, getting data out of it, updating it, and more things like review replies, payouts, transactions, stuff like that. We only launched it in 3 weeks ago, and we've been getting feedback since and iterating on it. Keep it coming, please, in the community when you're finding something that you wish our MCP did but doesn't yet. We'd love to hear about it, and we're, as some of you have seen, we're building this pretty quickly. And what you can expect next is the ability to have access to your tasks and managing tasks, which means like, cleanings that have been assigned or maybe not yet assigned. If you want to create those through an AI agent or move those around, whatever, you'll be able to do that very soon. It's almost ready. Posting reviews, a lot of you have asked about this. That's coming soon as well. And then just kind of going down the list of things that you're able to do in the app now, but AI agents don't yet have access to. So that's stuff like messaging rules, scheduled messages, property settings, calendar rule sets, and so on. That's all coming. So now that you've had a kind of overview of, again, AI agents, MCP, and a bit of insight into what you can do with Hospitable's MCP, you can go to mcp.hospitable.com if you haven't already. There will be a link to a help article that you can go through to get an idea of how to get set up and what you can expect. But the main thing is you'll have a link there. It's mcp.hospitable.com/MCP. And that is what your AI agent will use. What you will need to do is you'll need to be logged in to your Hospitable app. And when your AI agent, through its interface to connect an external MCP or connector, gets that link, it will automatically throw you into the connection flow within Hospitable itself. You'll give it permission. It will come back to the app, like Claude, for example, and it will then be connected, and you can start chatting with Claude, for example, about your Hospitable data. That's all there is to it. Be logged in on Hospitable, add the link to the link that's on this page to Claude or the AI agent, and off you go. That's it. So to be clear, though, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Miles might be. The link to give to your AI agent is not mcp.hospitable.com. That is where you should go now to find the link that you need to give your AI agent, right? The link that you do need to give your AI agent. Can I do something? I think I can do this, right? Your AI agent, bear with me. Let's see. I've never done this in this thing. I think I can do agent this link. Can I do this? One sec. Okay, I'll do it in two places. I'll do it here. I'm not sure. I don't know if that shows up actually. Okay, I'll just do it in the chat as well. And in chat, I'll do this. Okay, sorry for that aside. Like, oh, that's awful. It's so squished. It's in the chat. Okay, moving on. So some of you might be thinking, if the Hospitable MCP just gives access to the data in the app anyway, right? What's the point, right? You already have that within the Hospitable app. You can do all of that in the app. Why would you have this other system do anything? Like, what's the point of all this? Well, one is the Hospitable app is our opinionated way of thinking about your data and what's a good way of representing it and giving you access to it. It's not necessarily the way that you would like to work with that data, representing stuff like your occupancy or how you want to think about certain metrics or your messaging rules or whatever. You have your own requirements and needs, right? And so AI agents having access to that means that you can build your own workflows and, as I'll show you in just a minute, your own apps actually in a pretty quick and easy way. And so, yeah, Hospitable MCP gives you the ability to make Hospitable your own. That's kind of the summary here, using the power of AI agents. And so now I want to show you a few things that customers, Hospitable customers like you have done. So, for example, one recent one. And by the way, Tom, if you're here and you're watching this, hi and thank you. Like, this was awesome. Thank you for sharing this this was in the Facebook group. But yeah, stuff like this is great. Just showing exactly how this is done, the prompt you're feeding and so on. So what Tom did was connected Hospitable's MCP to I don't remember which agent, AI agent Tom used, but connected Hospitable and basically prompted the agent that Tom wanted a subset of testimonials in a kind of a beautiful way, creating images out of them. So the AI agent using Hospitable MCP went and grabbed the property data on Tom's account automatically, grabbed the review data on Tom's account automatically, and then Tom specified what his criteria are for filtering those, like, within a certain number of characters, star reviews, and within a certain time range and so on, and guidelines for how to edit it, some grammar edits here and there, whether or not they should be attributed in a certain way, and then asking AI to just make images for the subset. Again, like the AI agent can make images, like ChatGPT can do this, Claude, I think, can do this as well. Other agents can do this. And so what came out was a list of really, really nice looking testimonial images that Tom could then grab and paste either in socials, LinkedIn, marketing campaigns, or on a direct website, for example. Really, really cool. Another example, Sandy basically went and created her own alternative calendar and pacing app from scratch using AI. And process was very similar. It's a longer prompt. If you're not aware, it's like basically what you're asking the AI to do and how to do it. So Sandy's prompt was a bit more involved, but same process. Sandy connected Hospitable to the AI agent using MCP. The AI agent went and grabbed properties on the account, grabbed calendar data, so availability and pricing, again, through the Hospitable MCP. And then Sandy gave instructions for how to think about like the timing windows and pacing rules, what calculations to consider, and like some back and forth with AI there. And some design rules for how she wanted it to look. And so what the AI then came out with was an actual app that can be run, and then Sandy could see this in the browser. And the app contained Sandy's idea of like what she would want to see for pacing data that's to do with occupancy and revenue. And she had actually, like, what the screenshot shows is a calendar view where every day has a filled or not filled bar for a given property on the account, as well as at the very bottom occupancy percentages for each of those properties, and then a separate dashboard for like any given month, what percentage of the target revenue was hit, and so on. So really cool. And so you can get at that data in a particular way within Hospitable as well, but you have to go into metrics. You have to set up kind of the widgets and dashboards in the way that we've allowed you to. But like Sandy did it in the way that she really wanted to for her, right? So these are two examples that really within the last few days have kind of surfaced, and people are doing more and more things with Hospitable MCP. This is super exciting to see. I'd love to see what the folks, what you here are able to do with the system. And this is kind of it for today for what I wanted to show in terms of slides, and I want to open it up to Q&A as of now, basically. Like I said, future sessions, there's going to be in 1 week's time, another one about MCP, diving a little bit deeper. And then I think in 2 weeks' time after that, a more in-depth, complex one about building entire AI-like systems and workflows and so on. So at this point, I think we can open it up to questions and answers. Oh, hi, Sandy, by the way, in the chat.
Cool. I can help out, Nick. So yeah, couple of questions coming through now. So do you need paid subscriptions to AI agents to get access? And also, is it available on legacy?
So 2 questions. I'll tackle the second one first about the Hospitable subscription. We didn't widely announce it, but I've been replying to posts within the community. As of yesterday or Sunday, legacy plans have access to Hospitable MCP as well. So if you're on a legacy plan or host, professional or mogul, you have access to Hospitable MCP. Now, for the second one, do you need a paid subscription with, for example, Claude? Technically, no, but the free plan with Claude limits you quite a bit for like how much you can do in any given session. You can only ask, I think, a few questions really before it cuts you off, as far as I remember. But there will be other AI agents that I think are give you a much more generous amount of interactions. So I think folks in the chat will be able to help you out with that.
Great. Okay, so I'm just trying to read through as we go. Can we get connection to MCP without web authentication in Hospitable? Not all IDEs support web authentication for MCP.
I hear you, Stefan. Not right now, no. This is this is kind of the standard way right now that a lot of MCP connections in the AI industry in general function. I hear you. We might consider that, but right now, no. You have to kind of go through the normal click connect in your client. It goes to Hospitable login. It brings you back into the client or your IDE. Yeah.
Good question here from Sanjay. Is there a prompt library where we can see more examples like these?
Not yet, but we'd love to have that. And I think this is the reason we're doing some of these workshops and the build-a-thon and so on, is to get examples from you to be able to share with the community there. But yeah, I think you can look forward to something being available in the community over the coming weeks, I think. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, Atlas had a good question around security. So connecting MCP to OpenClaw and the data flowing from OpenClaw to Hospitable, how do I make sure it's not doing things I don't want it to do in my Hospitable account?
Yeah, OpenClaw can be a bit of a beast for sure. So right now, Hospitable MCP does not allow you to select which tools the AI agent will have access to or not. That is something I want to get to eventually. But clients like Claude, for example, allow you to, on connection, specify that like the AI agent doesn't have access to certain tools at all, or it needs to ask you for permission to do those things. I'm not sure if there's a plugin you can use on OpenClaw to facilitate that, but my general guidance here is with OpenClaw, be careful. OpenClaw can do a lot of things, but it can also do a lot of things badly. Yeah, but noted. I think we'll take a closer look at that in the coming weeks to make permissions a bit more granular on connection.
Cool, sounds good. Task management. How much of that is connected to Hospitable MCP?
Yes. Where are we? Here, can I?
Yeah, I can get
do
this.
That. Wait, here. No, there. All the buttons. No, not this one. Next one. So yeah, managing tasks is actually next. It's almost ready. I have the code. I'm doing a bit more testing. This week, I think by Friday, it should be rolled out, which means you'll be able to see tasks within a time range, see the tasks attached to specific bookings, create tasks, I think assign, unassign, reassign teammates. There might be something else that I'm missing. Or I think adding items to checklists as well. A pretty wide range of functionality. But again, if something's missing, do let us know. Oh, and one thing to add, there's a little bit of a hidden gem within the Hospitable MCP integration, which is there's a built-in action that the AI agent can see, which is submit feedback. So when your AI agent tries to do something that you ask it to do and it isn't able to, it will automatically actually send, you can prompt it to do so, but it will in many cases, because we've received dozens of these reports from your AI agents. So your AI agent will automatically let us know the capability that is lacking, so we know what to build next. It just comes into our Slack automatically, and we know your AI agent is doing this. It's just fun and cool.
And just a reminder, folks, if you do have a question, you should be able to see a Q&A functionality specifically. If you try and put them in there, it helps me keep track of all the questions for Nick specifically. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves continually there.
Yep. Sojourner asks, what about guest messages in real time so the AI agent can respond? This is a bit more complex and entirely possible, obviously, because our own app does this already anyway. But the way this works with AI agents and MCP is a particular kind of part of the integration that not necessarily all AI agents and clients will be able to handle. We want to get to these sorts of things later. We first want to get through kind of the long list of all possible data and actions that you should be able to get access to anyway. And then we'll look at the more interesting, like sort of like real-time use cases and so on. So not yet, but it's on our radar as well. Yeah.
And just confirming on legacy accounts, when do we make that available? Literally today or yesterday or something?
It was I want to say Sunday, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so yeah, Brian, you said that you had issued a few days ago. It may just be that we didn't have it active then. So yeah, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday that we activated.
Yeah, it was sometime between Sunday and Monday when we flipped the switch.
Yeah. What information can we pull from MCP that we can't pull from webhooks? I guess the question there as well is kind of, yeah, what's the point of MCP versus API?
Sure. So in terms of what data is available, as we build out the MCP data access and actions, it will have a much bigger range of things that it's able to get and do. We're not going to stuff all of that into webhooks, at least not initially. So there will be kind of a disparity in data there anyway, just because there's a lot more stuff we can kind of readily make available to MCP, and AI agents can consume that very easily. What's the point of MCP versus API or webhooks? So first of all, MCP versus API. The public API is, you can think of it as roughly the same thing as MCP, but the MCP connection to your AI agents makes it easier for your AI agents to iterate in natural language over all of this data and do stuff with it. You can do all of the same things with the public API. There are more hoops to jump through. So if you wanted to build these systems yourself and you're able to, go right ahead. Like, nothing is stopping you. This is amazing if you do so. And please inspire the community to do that as well. But there are also plenty of folks who just want to be able to point an AI agent at mcp.hospitable.com/mcp, and off it goes. It does something, and you can chat with it, right? It's an ease of use thing as well there.
Awesome. Sorry, there's more questions keep coming in, and then I lose track of the ones I was about to ask you. Can I bulk edit dynamic pricing rules with MCP?
Not yet. I think that is at some point within the next few weeks, we would be able to get to that as well. Like I said, it's a long list that we're getting through because everyone has their own particular kind of niche thing that they're really interested in, but we're just working our way through like all the things that we want to give you access to. It's your data. Like that's my and like a lot of the team's position here. Like, this is your data. You should have access to it to do whatever you want with it. Simple as that.
Awesome. And then as well, there's a couple of questions around whether you can update listing descriptions with it.
Yep, that not yet, but that's coming. Yeah, editing. Yeah, your property settings and information. Yeah, that's coming soon. Yeah. Great. I'm going to read through a few of these as well. I mean, to clarify, I think, yeah. So the question is, yeah, like after connecting, you can basically do what you want with it, right? Or the AI agent can. Yes, absolutely. So, and it is indeed both ways. So given the data that we've already exposed through MCP, and I mentioned that before, right, about properties, reservations, knowledge hub, and so on. After you've connected, chat with your AI agent to, one, just get a feel for like what it can see, right? Like in the connection. Ask it things about your account and so on. So yeah, you can ask it whatever you want. It can do whatever it wants to with your data within kind of the realm of saying things to do. Right? It can't automatically export it to some random website somewhere. You have to have given it permission. You have to have connected some sort of tool as well to allow it to do that, right? So there's already some kind of guardrails automatically in place. It can't just magically do things that you've never configured it to do. And yes, it's both ways. So it can get data from your Hospitable account, and it can update data back in your Hospitable account as well. So there's this question from Jacob. Can we set up authentication so we don't have to re-authenticate often? I'm still trying to solve this. This is the honest truth. In many cases, it just works. There's no need to re-authenticate, meaning like you don't need to log back in on Claude or ChatGPT or whatever. But for some reason, in some cases, it comes up that the connection is kind of broken, and you need to do the whole thing again where you log in on Hospitable. It brings you back into your AI agent and you're reconnected. We're still not sure exactly what's happening here. But please, when it does happen, do let us know, for example, in a community post and so on. Because the more cases we have, the more likely it is we can find an actual pattern to this, because so far it's a little hard to pin down why this is happening. Okay. And yeah, just it's the same thing here. How often do you need to authenticate? Generally speaking, you shouldn't need to. So your AI agent should know how to do this on its own behind the scenes, because what happens is when you click connect within your AI agent, it goes to Hospitable, you give it permission, it goes back, it receives a special token that it should know how to reuse to re-authenticate you, to log you back in automatically moving forward. And that's what I was talking about before. Like, there are some cases where something seems to be going wrong there. We're not exactly sure why, but the short answer is you shouldn't need to do anything manual after connecting once. That should be the way this works. Let's see, Miles, feel free if you're seeing something here to raise it.
There was a good question about, I guess, specific permissions for different team members. Is there any way to limit permissions for virtual assistant only being able to access limited data via MCP connection, for example?
Yeah, so right now, both MCP and the public API, because that's been the case there already, your secondary users, so your team members, do not have access to the API, and they don't have access to the MCP connection. So that's the short answer is what permissions? No permissions. But what we're hoping to do fairly soon is allow you to set granular permissions on MCP as well. So granting access to specific team members to do certain things via MCP. That should be coming. We know you want to do this as soon as you start playing with MCP. So not yet. It is coming though. There is a spicy question. Are you planning to open up a skill or agent or functionality marketplace for others to share? So a related question was raised before about like prompts and stuff. So like, can you share prompts that would work well with the AI agents? So hopefully we'll build up some sort of library with inspiration from the community in the community. So community.hospitable.com. But longer term, there are other more exciting plans that we have in store that I cannot talk about, but we're all very excited about if they pan out. So MCP, the MCP announcement earlier this month and these workshops, they are very much just the start. We have big plans around this moving forward. Okay, this one. So is there documentation about what data MCP has access to and what stuff it can do? Yes, the growing and up-to-date list is within our help section. So if you go to help.hospitable.com, search for MCP, the first thing that will come up is the main MCP article. Near the bottom of that page, you'll have the list of all of the functionality that the MCP has. So all the different things like, getting your properties, creating quotes and sending messages and so on. So all of that is in there. It explains what exactly it can and cannot do. Okay, this one, because this does come up often. So is standard ChatGPT supported? Not yet. We'll get there. Right now, it's through a workaround. You have to enable what's called developer mode. You have to go in your settings, and I think it's only on a paid ChatGPT account. In your settings, there's in like apps section, you have to go into advanced, enable developer mode, and only then can you add Hospitable MCP. It's a bit of a tango that you need to dance. Hopefully sometime soon we can get past that as well. Mario asks, can I use this to create an AI travel agent web app for guests to book my properties based on questions and availability without looking at each of my property calendars and scrolling if their dates aren't found initially? Yes, is the short answer. I think all you really need to do is kind of what a combination of what let me close this and go back to here. A combination of the examples that I shared between Tom and Sandy, which is again connect Hospitable MCP. It will get your property data, it will get your calendar data, and it can also get your inquiry messages, because I think this question is around inquiries, if I'm understanding correctly. And using a combination of that, the AI agent will just go and do its thing and be able to bring this back up. Create a web app for you to pull that data, display it for you. And in the cases that you choose to, go ahead and answer it. Whether or not you wanted to do it automatically for you, that will be up to you. An AI agent can build you an app that will do this automatically. But it can also do something where you can ask it for kind of recent conversations in the last, I don't know, few days, a week, or just today. It will pull those up and give you some advice. Absolutely. Think of it as a very smart assistant that you would talk to in the room next to you. The same sort of things that you might be asking someone right next to you, only this thing can go and do this in seconds that a person might be able to do in minutes or hours. Let's see. And that's similar to David. You asked about automation with MCP to answer some of my chat inquiries. Same thing. Yep. It's basically the answer I just gave. Same answer to you.
I'm not sure if this is planned for. Sorry, you go ahead.
I'll answer this one and then yeah. So Lance, you're saying that you are not able to any bookings since January. So we had actually something similar come up. Something similar a few days ago from another member in the hospitable community, where the AI agent wasn't able to grab data beyond a certain time range. I'll get a tiny bit technical here. The more capabilities we expose in MCP, so now we're up to like 38 different things that you can do, basically, and that list is growing. And as I showed you, like that list will grow quite a bit quite soon. But the more we add, the harder it becomes to not overload the agent and the kind of system behind it with way too much information that it just can't even really like handle properly. Plus it can become more expensive really to do that. So we're trying to find a balance where we provide enough information for the AI agent to get started, and then it knows how to go and get more information about what it's able to do within Hospitable MCP. We're still trying to find that balance, and sometimes this leads to failure cases like this, where it doesn't seem to be able to know how to get additional information deeper in your account when it needs to. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to find this in our logs. But yeah, Lance and others, like if you run into issues like this, please, again, like raise them. For example, in a thread in community, you can email me, nick@hospitable.com. We're still kind of building this. It's still kind of early days, and we're ironing out these kinks. Please do bear with us. Miles, sorry, I cut you off.
No worries. I was just going to ask, I don't know if this is going to be part of the next workshop, a live demo of you actually connecting something like Claude to a hospitable account. Is that possible at some point?
Let me see.
Not to put you live on the spot.
At some point, yes. Let me see if I can just show you right now. I did it earlier today. Let me disconnect and then reconnect, I think. Okay, I think I can just share. I think I should move this out so it's not competing. Let's see. That one. That should work. Okay, I've got Hospitable. I'm in Claude. I've got Hospitable connected right now, and while I'm here, I'm gonna actually show you. So within Claude, you can actually tell it, like always allow all of these tools and actions that just get data out of the account. But for these ones where you're might be canceling or writing or something, you can ask it for approval, or like specific ones, you can tell it just always block that, for example. I just wanted to show you. I talked about this earlier, and like here it was in action. So let me disconnect, and what I'm going to do is reconnect it back. So I'm reconnecting with the button there, but within Claude, because I think I'm an organizational account and it looks a little bit different. But there will be a section, I think, on that screen where you add a custom connector, and then you specify mcp.hospitable.com/mcp, and it goes here. So what you're looking at, I'm using one of my teammates' accounts. The page looks like this. Authorize Claude. It comes back to Claude. And at this point, it says here, connected to Hospitable. I can confirm it here. And again, if I go back to configure, all of these are still all allow, and these need approval. So now if I just go to a chat, let's see, what does my calendar look like for the I forgot the name of that property, for the Devon property, I think, in May, because I remember there's like one booking there. So what it should do now is it will see, it knows straight away to look for hospitable data because I've connected it. So first is going to find the list of properties. There we go, get properties. It will find the property that I'm talking about by name. And so I actually found a few, and it asked me to clarify which one I'm talking about. So it's going to be this one. So, but actually it went ahead and started checking these two calendars straight away, and I might be able to give it instructions later for like, I mean that one or this one. Okay, so for this one, every day blocked and unavailable. And let's see, May calendar for this one. Right, so it's a normal chat basically, asking it to look at things, do things, and so on. Yep. So it found within hospitable data that certain nights are open, certain nights are blocked, and so on. I mean, yeah, the nightly price is $1 Canadian per night. This is a test account, obviously, but yeah, it would actually show you your actual pricing data. But it picked up on this, right? So like, which looks like a pricing error rather than intentional rate. So it's smart enough to realize when something doesn't look quite right. Which is another thing that you could do. You can ask it to look for discrepancies in your calendar, for example. Like, is a particular rate looking way off the mark? And so just to show you, let's see, close all open dates for Devon Delight in May. And so what it should do is, so yeah, shall I proceed? Go ahead. And so this is what a lot of agents would do, at least when you're starting out, which is like, ask you like, is this actually what you have in mind? Especially when it knows that it's an action that will have like potentially serious consequences. And so here it's asking me, if you remember in the settings, I showed you that like some actions always allow, some need my permission. This was one of them because it's updating the calendar. And so I can say, allow once or always allow. I just say always allow for this one. And what it's doing is it's figuring out how to structure that particular request for each date to have a block and so on. And done. Trust me, you're gonna have to trust me on this one, so I don't go back and forth a lot. But it's gone and actually blocked off the dates in the calendar. That's it. That's kind of all there is to it.
Awesome. Thank you for the demo, Nick. Cool. Try and squeeze in a few more questions for the end. Anthony was asking around knowledge hub and if that's something that can be edited through the MCP.
Yes. As of last week, I don't remember exactly when. You can indeed. You can ask it to look through your knowledge hub. You can ask it to add something to your knowledge hub. You can ask it to raise any potential kind of gaps or blind spots in the knowledge hub and make suggestions. And then if you confirm them, it will go ahead and write those in and it will be in your knowledge hub. Yep.
Cool. And there's no limit on the number of agents you can have connecting to your MCP, right?
Not that I'm aware of. You should just be able to connect whenever you want. Yeah. Or to answer the question, will you be able to? Yes. Yes.
Cool. I think there were some specific questions around people having issues with access and things. I think that's probably a good question for community. If you're specifically having an issue, to ask us there. It's kind of difficult to go through one by one and look at each.
And also because occasionally you'll find that some folks might have gone through something similar and they might give you some advice that has worked for them. But if not, like I said, yeah, we're very much on this and looking into this. Let's see. So I'm gonna bring this up. This is more of a technical question, but so I think Theo, I think you'll find that a lot of folks listening kind of are in, I don't know, one in 2 or 3 buckets, right? So those who don't have any kind of like actual like engineering programming experience, or say like technical infrastructure experience, and just want to like chat with like ChatGPT or Claude and so on. Those who are coming from like an engineering background, probably your case, considering you're asking this, and those maybe who have like some kind of closer to the engineering kind of experience, who might be able to do some tweaks. So this is a great question actually to ask in the community. We had folks asking for advice around MCP as well. I think you'll find some other Hospitable hosts being able to guide you on that front. So community.hospitable.com is probably your friend here. But I think also from what I've seen and a few examples coming in through the feedback tool that I mentioned, we do see folks running this in OpenClaw on their local computers rather than in the cloud. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Maybe a couple more. If we have. Oh, this is a nice one. Can automated guest messaging become more dynamic on existing guests? Yes. So this is one of the things that is coming up soon, which is the ability to interact with your scheduled messages with Hospitable MCP. What you will be able to do is give it enough of a prompt for like what your intention is, and it will see this context and edit your scheduled message for you with this context, and either send it out if you want to send it out immediately, or just save it and it will send on the normal schedule, but now with the AI assisted edits in there. So this will indeed be possible, I think, within a couple of weeks max. Yeah. I just want to make sure this is seen. So making a note for myself. So Karina, you're saying that you tried to connect to Perplexity with a paid subscription, but it didn't work. So I'm going to look into that. I'm just going to make a note. Karina, if you're still on this, if you're still in the chat, can you let me know at what point it didn't work? Like you didn't even have the option to connect, or there was an error in the middle somewhere? If you can tell me in the chat about that, that'll be great.
I think that's the majority of the questions, but aren't specific recommendations on which AI agent to use, which is a little difficult for us to answer.
Yeah, there are. Can you pull out? Okay, hang on. This one maybe. Can you pull all reviews that haven't been written or responded to, so I don't miss any? I want to say yes, but I'll make another note to look into that. Well, it should. So if it doesn't, I'll make sure it does. I think it can absolutely see. I don't know about scheduled reviews. I'll need to look into that, but this is one of those things that will be in place for sure. Yeah. Thanks, Mindy. Just making a note. Okay. So Miles, I think we can start wrapping up at this point.
Good.
Maybe just make a note about, 1 week from now, same time, there will be the second workshop where we start digging into a few more examples on how to do certain things with MCP. So today was an introduction, answering some questions, giving you a few examples, and I gave you a bit of a demo for like connecting it and chatting with Claude. We'll go into a bit more detail next session and give you more examples and things to try out. And the build-a-thon link, I promised that. I'm not sure if we shared that. So it is in just a second in the chat, buildathon.hospitable.com. You can, I can do this, right? Buildathon.hospitable.com. Yeah, if you go to that, that will have more information about kind of this little contest where we'd love for you to submit your built little app or whatever it is that you're doing. If you can share a video with us, even if you have some code that you can share, that'd be great. There are some Hospitable credits to be won and a community to be inspired. Please do. Cool. Yeah, and the deadline for that is this coming Sunday. Yeah, and like I said, please reach out about MCP in the community, whether that's questions that myself or other hosts can answer, any ideas that you have, any cool things that you want to share, that will be amazing. Okay, so this was recorded. This is going to be on our YouTube and I think shared in the community as well, if you want to rewatch some bits. Thank you so much for attending. That's it from us today. Hopefully see you in a week's time, and yeah, have fun. This is something that a lot of people are excited about, and we love giving you more and more opportunities to do more things through Hospitable MCP with AI agents. Thank you, everyone.